See, I have almost covered all the topic from your syllabus. I'm going to just rewind the topic of second unit because maybe in your exam, mid-sem exam, I'm going to ask you first and second unit. So that's why I'm going to rewind you. You already learned what is GSM. So can anyone give me a brief about the GSM, what you have previously learned? Because I have already taught this topic to you guys, architecture of GSM, handoffs, and all these things. So anyone from you, are you able to give me a brief of GSM? What is GSM? Roshan, are you able to tell me what is GSM? Ria, Mudra, are you able to give me a brief of GSM? What is GSM? Whatever you know about the GSM, you can tell me in your language. I'm not telling you that you have to tell me topic wise in books language. You just formally you can talk with me. Yes, ma'am. This is the GSM. Tell me what is GSM? What is full form of GSM? Are you there? Akash, are you there? Arju, Arzu, are you there? See, today I'm going to take
Yes,
your
ma'am.
attendance ERP. So I'll tell your name and you have to tell me yes or no. And I will take attendance like this. You just don't type and reply me. Okay, if you don't want to answer me, that's fine. I'm speaking, you just listen. What is GSM?
Global
So
system
GSM,
for mobile application.
okay, fine. GSM is generally, we can say its full form is Global System for Mobile Communication, right? GSM is for mobile. So Global System for Mobile. So initially it was named as a group special mobile. And what kind of objective GSM is having? It is going to meet the we can say internal support. It is going to give, because initially we were having other card, then this GSM came into the market. So it is going to, we can say, ability to support handheld terminals. Low service cost is there. Spectrum efficiency will be there. Then it will provide range of new services and facilities, ISDN capabilities there. So these are the, we can say, services or objective provided by the GSM. Okay. GSM is using TDMA and FDMA, time division multiplexing and frequency division multiplexing. It means there is no, we can say, fixed time slot. It is going to divide into different 8 time slot, and frequency is going to, we can say, reuse in different time slots. Now the next thing is, what is frequency reuse? Why we need to use the frequency again and again? Because frequencies are limited and the number of users are millions of users are there. Big problem. So whatever spread spectrum we are having, I told you that spread spectrum is governed by the, we can say, our government, and they are providing the license to the countries who want that particular spectrum frequency. So that frequency is going to reuse by that particular users. You can see here, this is one cluster. This is one, we can say, it is in hexagonal form. So this cluster is going to use the frequency. For example, here I have used 2. You can see here in this figure. Yes, this is the 2, right? So the, we can say, the hexagons or the cell which is around this 2 are not going to use the same frequency. They all are using different frequencies. You can see here, right? But this 2 you can use in some different cluster. Here you can use this 2. Here is, it is, you can use this 2 to avoid the co-channel interference, right? Similar frequency you cannot use at co-channel, at similar channel in between. So here I cannot use 2, right? Here also I cannot use 2, but here I can use 2. So this is the frequency you reuse. The frequency is going to utilize in other cluster, and you can use the same frequency again and again. Plus you are not using around, so you are avoiding the co-channel interference. Now what is GSM hierarchy? Okay, there is one administrative region that is called MSC, that is we can say state wise. In Gujarat we can say one MSC, in Maharashtra there is one MSC. And administrative region is commonly known as a public land mobile network. Each administrative region is again divided into the one or more mobile location area. This location area consists of many cell groups, and each cell group is assigned one base station controller, and each location area will be at least one base station controller, while cell is in one BSC, can belong to different LA location area. So you can see here public land mobile network and GSM administrative region. This administrative region is having one MSC, and the region is divided into different location area, and every location area is having different base stations, right? Base station controllers, and you can see that the cell is there in base station controller. The more clear you will idea we will get into this figure. There is one mobile, right? It is known as a mobile station, which consists of SIM card and mobile equipment identity number. Then there is a BTS base station. And this is base station controller. This is BTS means base station. BSS means base station subsystem. There is one NSS, network switching subsystem. This is MSC, mobile switching subsystem. So this is PSTN. For every public switch telephone network, there is one MSC. This MSC is connected with this BSC, and this BSC is going to connect it with our mobile station. So this is the hierarchy, how it is going to connect, right? So I told you already in our simple language, you can see such kind of tower everywhere, right? So whenever you go outside, sometimes you see such kind of big tower. So our mobile from up to this, from this tower to our mobile, it is wireless. Otherwise, everything is wired, right? This MSC is connected through the wire in BSC. BSC is again connected through the wire to BTS, this tower. There is one, we can say operation support system, that is also connected through the wire. Now MSC is having different kind of register, equipment identity register, authentication register, home location register, visitor location register. So these are the register which is going to maintain the information about our phone, exactly where we are using our phone, on which location. I am in Gujarat, I am in Maharashtra, where I am. So it is going to store my information, right? So this is network switching subsystem, base station subsystem, and mobile station. You can see here the full form of everything is given. BTS means base transceiver station, base station controller, mobile switching system, so, mobile station, home location, visitors location, authentication register, gateway MSC, international switching center, equipment identity register, operation and maintenance center. So these are the, we can say, full form of everything is given to you. So if I'll ask you an exam to draw the architecture of GSM, you can draw this figure, or you can draw this figure, any of these two figure you can draw, right? So cells are formed by the radio areas covered by the BTS, base station transmitter. Several BTS are controlled by one BSC. Base station controller will control more than one BTS. Traffic from mobile station is routed through the mobile station controller. Call originated or terminated in fixed network or one mobile network is handled by the gateway MSC. Now what home location register is going to do? It is going to contain the authentication information like international mobile subscriber identity number, IMSI number. It is going to store the name, address of subscriber, identification information like mobile subscriber, ISBN, MSI ISBN, billing information, postpaid or prepaid, operator selected, venue of services to subscriber. So these are the information generally contained by home location register. For example, I have registered my mobile into Ahmedabad city, into the Gujarat state. So that particular information that home location register is having, whether I have paid bill or not, if I'm having prepaid or postpaid connection, then it is going to store the information, so it will send the message, now your service is going to discontinue because you have not paid money, you have to do recharge, right? So who am I, that person, what is my name, what is my mobile number, this all information are going to store into that particular home location register, right? Next is there are two numbers of SIM mobile. I told you one number that on which everybody is calling you at your mobile number, and the other number given is on your SIM card, right? So MSISDN and IMSI, these are the two numbers. MSISDN is the simply phone number of 10 digit, and IMSI is the SIM card number. So network cannot change IMSI of SIM card, but it can assign different MSISDN or phone number, right? Home location register. What kind of services it is going to handle? It is going to handle the services like call forwarding, call is busy or not, call is reachable or not, call forwarding or call forwarding is answerable or not. It is going to store the SMS when mobile is not connected or not reachable, as and when your mobile you can do the switch on, you will going to get that message that somebody has then called. Hello, कई जगह है? How? Wait a minute. Actually, I got one call. May I come back in 2-3 minutes, if you don't mind?
Sure, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, so home location register is going to provide various kind of services like whether our call is busy or not, whether we are available or not, call is reachable or not. So this kind of service, plus it is going to store your all the calls and messages as and when you are switch on your mobile, you will going to get the information that you got call or message from this number. And it is also going to provide you the information for the long distance and international call allowed or not, roaming or not. So voicemail data, text services, caller line identification, call routing. So these are the services it is going to provide, roaming or not, international call is going to allowed or not in your mobile. So you can do international calling or not, this kind of services it is going to store. Now which are the entities in GSM? Mobile station, as I told you, it's going to have mobile equipment and subscriber identity module. Your SIM card, only two things, your mobile equipment and your SIM card. The base station BSS, base station subsystem will going to include the base station transceiver, BTS, and base station controller. Network and switching system will going to include the mobile switching center, home location register, visitors location register, equipment identity register, authentication center, and operation support subsystem will going to include the OMC, operation and maintenance center. Okay. So MSC, mobile station MS, it is having mobile equipment and the SIM card. Without SIM card, you cannot operate your phone. So SIM card is there in all the GSM phone. You need to install the SIM card. It is having, we can say, IMSI number. Now BSS, base station subsystem, it is going to connect with the mobile station and network switching subsystem in charge of transmission and reception of the last mile. BSS can divide into two parts, BTS and BSC. So it is just one kind of antenna, you can say that in each network, which is going to provide the connection to the cell mobile, and it is going to put into middle of any of the cell, because our area is divided into the cluster and cell. So at every cell it is going to put, you can say hexagonal cell is having one antenna, one BTS, right? You can see here this kind of BTS, and the base station controller device will look like this. So BSS link will provide like this to all the tower or all the antenna. Now network and switching system. It is help you in providing the call routing and roaming capabilities of GSM. It acts like a normal switching center for the mobile subscriber of the same network, connection between the mobile phone within the same network. So this is the general architecture. It looks like we can say, I can told you know that up to tower it looks like a normal telephone system. Whatever we were having in lane line, totally wired connection is that, and after that you can have a wireless connection. It is going to provide the functionalities like who will going to handle the mobile subscriber identity, like registration, authentication, location updating, handovers, call routing. It includes the database in order to store the information to manage the mobility of the roaming subscriber. So the database it is going to maintain whether we are roaming somewhere or whether we are in that particular network, right? So administrative kind of information it is going to provide. Now operation and maintenance subsystem, as the name suggests, maintenance and operation. So it is going to store the information in equipment identity register, whether our equipment is valid or not, whether our equipment is broken or there, whether somebody has, we can say, registered that mobile or not. Someone's mobile is blocked because of not paid bill. So this kind of information related to your equipment, it is going to maintain blacklist, whitelist, and gray list, right? Blacklist mobiles are not allowed to call anyone. Broken mobiles and whitelist are, we can say, regular use of mobile, and the gray list, that is going to temporary out of network, temporary in fixing problems, repairing problem. So it is going to equipment identity register will going to maintain this kind of three list. The next question generally asked in exam is what is GSM call routing? So this is just a given information regarding how MSISDN consists of country code. Means for India it is 91, right? National destination code. It is of 2 to 3 digit long. For example, for BSNL it is 94. For 98 for Vodafone. Something is for Geo, and the 10 digit number is for subscriber identity, and total mobile number will going to consist like this. Right now IMSI number, which was on, we can say, a SIM card. This number we are use MSSID, and we are using for calling to somebody. This is known to everybody, but this is not known to everybody. This number we can say bond with the SIM card only to solve the identity of SIM card. So it will also consist of country code, mobile network code like 10 for Airtel in Delhi, and mobile subscriber identification number. Now how GSM call is going to forward, so you can see in this figure. Okay, from a landline call or fixed network, if somebody will going to call on mobile, so it will reach to PSTN. From PSTN, gateway will route your call, gateway MSC will, and it will reach to the home location register. So at home location register, it will reach up to the mobile station, our mobile, and in, we can say it is going to check whether that mobile is in our home network or not. So if it is registered with the visitor location network, visitor location mobile, it means it is not in our network. We are somewhere else. We are in visitor location. We are at roaming. So roaming number or roaming charges are assigned to that. That gateway MSC will assign roaming charges, and then it will reach to the mobile station, wherever the mobile station is. Suppose I am from, somebody is calling to me from Gujarat, and my original network is at Gujarat, but now I am at Maharashtra. So it is going to check that whether I am in visitor location register or not. If I am in visitor location register, then roaming will be applied, and in roaming the call is going to forward. So GSM call routing is one question. GSM architecture is one question. GSM frequency reuse is one question. These are the questions generally you have to prepare for in this subject, or we can say in this topic. Yes, GSM handover is also important topic. I already told you that if we move from one place to another place, sometimes the network will become weak. We lost the signal, and that kind of thing will going to happen because of handover from one place to another place. You can see that there is one cluster which consists of different hexagonal cell, or there is one tower in each cell, right? So whenever I'm moving from here to there, it might be happen sometime that I lose the network from this tower. Why I'm going to lose this tower network? There are two reasons. Either this distance, because of distance I'm moving away from this tower, or the second reason is either this tower is going to exhausted by connecting many number of devices, the traffic area. If that particular we can say, if I can talk about the Ahmedabad city, and some of the area of Ahmedabad city is very crowded, so at that time cell is going to exhausted because of more number of users. So this kind of problem will occur, this kind of thing will going to happen. I told you that geographical area is divided into the cell, you can see into the figure, and each cell is having some base station. And this transmission of base station goes up to the certain distance. Depending on the power of antenna, it will go up to the certain distance. Why signal strength decrease? As I told you, it is going to decrease because of distance. Because of more number of devices are connected. Because of some poor quality of channel due to the error into the link, traffic. So these are the, we can say, reasons of becoming signal weak. Now these are the GSM architecture hierarchy. You can see that MSC, BSC, BST, and mobile station. There are two types of handoff, hard and soft. Hard means break before we make, and soft is make before the break. So in hard handoff, the old connection is broken before the new connection will going to establish. It is used in FDMA and TDMA system. Different frequency range used in adjacent cell to minimize the interference. Okay, this is the example of hard handoff. Sometimes it happens that you are moving through the car and in between you are going to lose the connection, and after some time you will going to get your network back. You can switch on and switch off your mobile, or it will automatically comes back after some time. So this kind of handoff is called hard handoff. Make break before make. Before you get the, we can say, signal from the next tower, a new tower, this one will going to break. It will disconnect it from this tower. So this kind of handoff is known as a hard handoff. And the soft handoff is make before the break. Before connection will going to break, you will going to get the signal from the new mobile base station. This is better than the previous one. You will not even, you can talk while driving, even you will not feel that somewhere the connection will going to miss, or you can lose the connection somewhere. It is continuously coming. It will, your phone remain activated, and it is used in UMTS because it is going, it has used the signal, improve the signal quality, and uplink and downlink signal are combined here. Better connection it is going to provide. Now again, there are 4 types of handoff: intra-cell, inter-cell, intra-BSC, inter-BSC, intra-MSC, and inter-MSC. So intra means in between, inter means outside also, right? So you can see here intra-cell. So why it is going to happen? Suppose I am in this cell only, right? My mobile is in this cell only. Now I'm moving here, but I'm getting signal from this tower, not from this tower. Because this cell is exhausted by more number of devices. Now I'm not going to get proper signal from this exhausted cell. That's why I'm trying to get, my mobile will going to get the signal from the other nearest BTS. So this is called, we can say, intra-cell handover. Even if you have not changed the location, you need to get the signal from the other BTS. Now inter-cell, suppose I have traveled from one place to another place, and I have changed the place, and I'm going to get signal from the other tower. But what happened here? The tower is going to change. It means inter-cell, but the BSC will remain same. You can see here the BSC in both this thing, both the tower are same. So this is called intra-BSC, right? Because now inter-BSC, I have changed location from one tower to another. I'm getting signal from the next this tower, but you can see here BSC is also going to change. Base station controller is also going to change. So this is called inter-BSC, but MSC will remain same. The state will remain same. City will going to change. So this kind of thing we can say inter-BSC handover. Now inter-MSC, I'm changing the state. I'm coming from this place to this place. So now I'm getting signal from this tower, but this tower comes under the different mobile switching center, different BSC. So this is called inter-MSC handover. You are changing the region from one place to another place. I told you, na, suppose I'm traveling from Gujarat to Maharashtra, the state I'm changing, so MSC will also going to change. So this is called inter-MSC handover. So GSM provides some, we can say, security and authentication. So it includes 2 things for the authentication. One is SIM card, mobile phone with SIM card, it means SIM card which is available with the mobile phone, and the authentication center. And it is going to use various, we can say, encryption algorithm, A3, which is going to generate the key, A8 algorithm. It is also generating the key, A5 algorithm, which is going to do the ciphering and deciphering procedure for the signaling voice and data. SS7 signal, voice, data, and SMS within the GSM network are ciphered over the wireless radio interface. Because whatever somebody is sending to me, it should be confidential. The call, the messages. So it is going to use various security algorithm to secure your data. Now you can see that live case of that Sushanti Singh Rajput. We are already listening every day in news, and we can see that they have found the chat of very, we can say, before 5 years. Somebody has already deleted that chat, but the chat should remain forever in internet, on cloud, on server, so they can see that chat. So this kind of security, this kind of data management, should be there in GSM network. So there are various algorithms. You just go through that algorithm, right? And if you have any problem, you can ask me. These are the ciphering, encryption, and decryption algorithms are there. Wait for 2-3 minutes. I have